So I am facing up like this. There's one hitting under my feet so badly. The pain was too much. And there's one shoving something in my ass.
So some guy put lubricant in my rectum, in my anus, and then started.
Hello, my name is Dr. Morgans. I am here to tell you a story about Ugandan activist named Agatha Atuhaire and Kenyan counterpart named Boniface Mwanji, how they narrate their ordeal that they faced while they were in Tanzania to stand together with Tundu Lissu, an opposition leader in Tanzania, during his court proceedings as he was charged with allegedly, committing treason against the country. And, Agatha's story is a tale anyone would never want to go through as you're going to listen to it. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this first and foremost for us to get courage from Agatha's story. Secondly, to pick a lesson. But thirdly, to expose what exactly is going on in Africa. There is a quote that says, an injustice somewhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And there is a disease that is happening in East Africa, and this is the Musevenism disease. It has eaten up Uganda, it is eating up, Kenya, it is eating up DRC, it has eaten up Congo, it is eating up Tanzania. It is spreading everywhere. And it is going to take people of sober mind to raise to the occasion and say, no, enough is enough. You actually, when you listen to Agatha's story, as you're going to listen to it, you might think she's actually talking about Uganda. Because whatever she talks about, whatever she faces while in Tanzania, in her illegal detention in Tanzania, is the exact same thing Ugandans face on a daily. And, we are having the East African community of abductors. East Africa has become no safe haven for anyone. We had Dr. Kano Kiza Besigye be abducted from Kenya, brought to Uganda against all international, deportation laws. Now we have Agatha, a human rights activist and lawyer, arrested in Tanzania, illegally detained in Tanzania, raped in Tanzania, tortured in Tanzania. We have Boniface Mwanji from Kenya, also arrested in Tanzania, illegally detained in Tanzania, tortured in Tanzania, and later on, they are thrown on the borders to their country. We need to come together to the realization, we need to come to the realization of that we are the same people. These borderlines were just brought about by the colonialists, the people that came and imparted a certain culture on us. When you go to the border between Uganda and Kenya, you see people that are the same. When you are at the border, you might not, it might be hard for you to even distinguish a person that comes from Busia. I'm talking about natives, because these are the same people, are people in the same area. It will be hard for you to distinguish a person that comes from Busia, Uganda, and Busia, Kenya. You literally would think they are the same people. When you go to Tanzania, the border of Tanzania and Uganda, that is around the Mukutula border, you will literally think they are the same people. And all around Africa, you go to the border of Uganda and Sudan, they are the same people. We are one people. We are just being divided by people that, practice divide and rule on us. And we need to come to the realization of Africa, of the fact that we are the same people. We are facing the same problem. At least we are being united by the same problems. Now, what is Agatha's story? Before you listen you listen to it from Agatha. Agatha is a human rights activist who has been known in Uganda for holding, people, especially those in the government, accountable. Agatha is part of an organization called Agora Discourses that has run different campaigns. It ran the Uganda Parliament exhibition where we have Professor Dr. Spire, who is part of the Agora, who exposed the corruption that is in Parliament. It has, uncovered a lot of uncertainties that are happening in the land. And, we came to the realization as people, mostly Ugandans on X, that, we are facing the same problems. When Dr. Kanokiza Besigye was arrested from Kenya, brought to Uganda, we had Kenyans come in, run to the aid of Dr. Kanokiza Besigye, saying this is wrong. Whatever you did to arrest Dr. Kanokiza Besigye from Kenya, bring him to Uganda against all laws, it is wrong. Now, we have had people from Tanzania speak against the insanities that are happening in Uganda. We have had Ugandans speak against the insanities that are happening in Kenya. We come to the realization that, we are facing the same problem. So we had Kenyans come in to stand in for Ugandans. So it was our turn as Ugandans to pay a debt to the people of Tanzania by standing for Tundu Lissu. Tundu Lissu is an opposition leader, like I told you before. And he's currently being charged with treason just because he says if there are no reforms in Tanzania, the elections are not going to happen. So Tundu Lissu is to be brought to court. Agatha and the team decided they will go to Tanzania to stand in solidarity with the arrested opposition leader. There is no difference from wherever is happening in Africa, or particularly Uganda, where we have opposition leaders being arrested every now and then. We had the arrest, we're talking about Dr. Kanokiza Besigye, and he has been in jail for months now. The only reason why the regime has failed to curtail Bobi Wine, put him in prison, is because the last time we had Bobi Wine arrested, the regime had to go on rampage and murder over 150 Ugandans who stood up against the regime repression and were saying, no, why are you arresting our leader? So the regime kind of has that fear. So we have in Uganda, we have the Dr. Kanokiza Besigye in prison. So it is happening all around East Africa where opposition leaders are not given a step in what they deserve. Talk about the opposition in Rwanda is a whole different mess happening down there. So Agatha goes in to stand in solidarity with Tundu Lissu. We have Martha Karua coming with a team from Kenya. Martha Karua and part of the team are denied entry into Kenya, rather into Tanzania. They're actually deported back to Kenya. So Agatha and the team decide to go. Boniface Mwanji comes in from Kenya to stand in solidarity still with Tundu Lissu. Boniface is the first person to get arrested. Later, Agatha Atuhaire from Uganda also gets arrested. And this is Agatha's story.
Get Boniface out. They increase the volume of the car. At first I didn't know what that was for, but of course I am scared until I started hearing Boniface scream. So they had increased the volume so that I don't hear him. But the pain they were inflicting on him was too much. I started hearing him scream. So I am, I know that we are finished here for no reason. And for me, that was, I think, my biggest problem and cause of anger. What have we done? Like you don't know whether the crime is that you have come into Tanzania. You don't know whether there's nothing, or that you have attended a public court hearing. So after a while, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, they come for me. The woman that they brought orders me out, but they had taken us in saying things that you could tell these are real killers, really. Orders me out. I am blindfolded. I can't see. She's ordering. I don't know where I'm going. So one man pulls me, throws me. There's another one I fall into. They also move me just a bit, and I get there, and the first order is take off your clothes. Before you do anything, there's one who hits me with something on the back, and there's one who violently takes off all my clothes. They take off all my clothes, they throw me down, they handcuff me. You will see some of they handcuff me, but they tried to put a sweater before the handcuffs. So I think the injuries here would have been worse, but there's this, then there is this. They handcuff me, they tie my legs with my arms on my legs. They face me up. They put like a wood in between the legs and the arms and hold me up facing down. So you see, the reason I'm not standing well is that the feet have not been standing. So I am facing up like this. There's one hitting under my feet so badly. The pain was too much. And there's one shoving something in my ass. So that is rape by all standards. And the pain, I don't know which pain was worse. So the feet, I am screaming so hard, and I am screaming, and they bring something to cover my mouth, and they shove whatever. I didn't know at that point what they were shoving, and the pain is unbearable. So I think after like 5 minutes of that, but it could have been longer, they put me down. They violently pull that wood they had between. So I don't know if you've gotten that sort of position that your arms are with your legs and you're like this. So I think there were two people that were holding that wood. So they pull it out. It's the one that must have hurt me here. My arm is still paining. It has been swollen. And they put me down. They pour water all over me. And they are saying all dehumanizing words, and they make me stand here, and now they take off the blindfold. So there's one talking to me, and I can't see, and saying, I'm going to ask you questions, I want you to answer me. The others, now is when I see that they are like 5 men, plus the one here making them like 6. The others are filming. So they are filming, and they ask me, what did you come to do in Tanzania? I tell the truth, like I'd been telling it, that I'd come to attend a court case, also to visit a few friends. They say, who are your friends? I said, I have many friends in Tanzania. It's not the first or even the second or third time I've been to Tanzania. But who are your friends? They said, one of them is Generali. Said, so who else did you plan with to come? I said, actually a couple of us, including even Martha Karua. So we wanted to come and attend the court hearing of Tundu Lissu. Okay, that's what I remember. There was more, but that's what I remember. So as they are still filming, he turns me around again. Now that's when I saw what he was shoving under my ass. It was a fist. So he shoves it under again, enough to get shit out of you and smear it on you as they film. For me, rape has for all time immemorial been a weapon of war. The biggest way in which it is a weapon is that they use it as shame to the victims. But me, I refuse to be the ashamed one. Yet you are the one committing heinous, shameful, the most evil crimes. So they are saying what you say here, if you ever say it, we have this video, and I am thinking the video will help us with evidence against you anyway. But of course, you, in this anger, you are saying, okay, in this fear. And
the young man who took me to the bathroom told me, these guys are going to hurt you, and they're going to hurt you so bad. Give them your phone. I said, I don't have my phone. And my fear was, because we had gone to Uganda, Tanzania rather, with many other activists. And if I lose my phone, or if they get my phone, they get hold of everyone that I was talking to in the country. so I could not give it my phone or my laptop. So when I went back to the bathroom, came back, and we were told to wait outside. Mafole made a phone call to someone, and a few minutes later, some guys came, 6 or 7 of them, very mean-looking people with one lady. It was at Dar es Salaam is very hot, but they were all wearing half jackets and they were smelling of alcohol. They looked so evil. So when we went to the central police station, there was a staircase on this side, so we came in through this staircase, but where we were, there was another private staircase, so they took us out with. They took us downstairs to the car, and we were blindfolded and handcuffed on the back. And it was a white Land Cruiser. At the back there were like a lot of sticks and a lot of fake number, like a number of number plates in that car. The guy across me had an AK-47. They were all in civilian clothes. So Agatha sat, it was a Land Cruiser, Agatha sat this seat, I was this other side in a face me position. And then they drove off. Then they took us, drove for about 20 minutes. Then they took us to a building. To this place where they went to torture us. When you go there, they told me to get off the car. I came out, and then they banged the door on my face. I had a mark here, I don't know if it's still there. I don't know what they were waiting for. I think they were putting some things ready. They got me out. I was still handcuffed and blindfolded, and they told me to strip naked. And they stripped naked. When I stripped naked, they removed my handcuffs, and then I was grabbed by about 4 men, and they lifted me up so fast. Before they lifted me, actually, they put some gloves on my hands. Then they lifted me up. They lifted me up and tied me upside down. There's a photo I saw online about what they did to us. It's in my bag. You can distribute when I'm done talking. So we were put on upside position where my legs were up like this. My body's up. I'm stuck naked. And then they started beating my feet. So they would beat me and massage my feet. Beat me and massage my feet. I was screaming so hard, I couldn't even, there was no tears coming out because of how painful it was. And one of them said, put his hand in his mouth. So they put my hand in my mouth. Then they would tell me, stop screaming, the kids are sleeping. And then to drown my screams, they opened the car because I could hear them. They were playing gospel music in the background. They beat me. Then they removed the underwear from my mouth, and they started questioning me, asking my name, where are you from, why are you here, who sent you, why are you coming to destabilize our country? And then they said, weka moto. So some guy put lubricant in my rectum, in my anus, and then started inserting objects. They insert objects and pull it out. Dude, it's okay. They would put objects in my anus and then say you're feeling nice, say you're feeling good. Then you say Asante Samia. So I say Asante to their president. Then they'll push hard and then pull it out again. They did that. So I started bleeding. Then they dropped me. Then I'm still blindfolded. They took me to a wall and then told me to face the wall and then squat. Then a man came and was putting his fingers in my anus and then saying that, say you're feeling nice, say you're feeling good, say Asante Samia. Then they would do that. And then they would do that. And then they told me to turn around. I'm naked. So all this time they're telling me they're recording everything they're doing to us, or rather they're doing to me. So they're recording this. They're teaching me a lesson. So I'm stuck naked. They turn me around, say your name, your wife's name, your kid's name, where do you live, where do they go to school. I'm naked. And they removed the blindfold and said, now, so when I'm answering these questions, when I turn around, when I'm answering these questions, they are just threatening me. So like when they're abusing me, they're saying they should feel good and say thank their president for doing that to me, like sema sande sana, sane sana. So they told me we have recorded these videos so that if you go back to your country and you say what we did to you, we shall put them online and shame you, and your kids will see this, your family will see this, everyone will see this.
Yes. The story is large, but as you've heard, that is exactly what happened to Agatha. Arrested in Tanzania, tortured in Tanzania, raped in Tanzania. It is happening in Uganda. We have had several members of the NUP talk about the rape that happens to them when they are arrested and taken to the CMI torture chambers. We have seen several Ugandans come out and, they have wounds all over their body. We know of Ugandans that we may never see again in our lives because the regime killed them, murdered them. Now, we as East Africans must come to the realization, I've said this several times in this video, of what we are facing. The problems we are facing as Ugandans are not just Ugandans' problems. They are problems of Africa. The problems the Kenyans counterpart are facing, the Ruto regime. Ruto is a student of the Musevenism. Wherever you see Ruto doing Tanzania, in Kenya, he is copied from Museveni. Wherever you see this lady from Tanzania she is copied from Museveni. Because Musevenism is a disease that is spreading like wildfire, eating up the whole Africa. And it's going to take Africans of sober minds, you, me, and other people that, dream of a better Africa, to raise up and put an end. No one is safe until we are all safe. No one is safe until the entire Africa is safe. Kenyans are not safe if Ugandans are not safe. Because the dictatorship in Uganda has even started eating up the system we thought has gone aboard this in Kenya. Now imagine what Agatha goes through. She got through this because she decided to go and stand in solidarity with an opposition member of Tanzania. We are same people, same color. Before we talk about, I saw the Andrew Mwenda come out and say, he was talking to the UAE, rather to the EU delegation that was meeting Salim Saleh, Museveni's other brother. And he was telling them, don't tell us how we should lead our people. Now, you don't even want people, you're beggars. You go to these people and beg money from them to finance your budget. Over 38% of our country is financed by foreigners. And you're telling them not to tell you how to treat people in your country that they finance. They're just calling upon you to raise to the occasion of respecting human rights. And this is eating up Africa. It is eating up East Africa, where we have leaders that don't want to be held accountable, where we have leaders that don't want to be told truth to their face. In Uganda, when you speak truth, you will find yourself in the basement being told Runyankole. Museveni is drunk. son, the Dracula Mozi, thinks they own the world. African leaders, what is your problem? East African leaders, what is your problem? Are you guys too much drunk with power? That even people that just speak truth to you, scares you? Museveni, you call yourself Sabalwanyi, the head of the fighters. Is this what you went to the bush to fight for? Well, I ask you this knowing you won't reply. Neither will you change the way you act towards us. But we want to remind you that whatever took you to the bush is still here. In the 1980s, when our parents put aside everything and decided to support you in whatever endeavors you promised them. You promised them peace, but you're keeping their child in pieces. You promised them a vibrant economy, but every now and then, you demoralize the economy. You promised them a country that is ruled by law, but now you have become the law, and the law has become you. You trample upon the Constitution as much as you want. It's not going to take us to do the right thing, only us. It's going to take everyone. And the pain is that there are people that think that, you know what, I'm ain't a politician. This is not my thing to go in for. Not until it comes on your door. Not until you go in the hospitals and there are no drugs. Simply because Ewan Museveni uses 2 billion Ugandan shillings on a daily. And when you get on a road accident and you die on the road, simply because of the corruption that is in the country. When you graduate and you fail to get a job, you will face it rough. You will come to the realization. East Africans, I guess it's high time we raise the occasion that nobody's gonna come and save us, not even the leaders we think. We are a one people and we are facing a one suffering. One people, one suffer. What the problems we are facing in Uganda are no different from what you're facing in Kenya and Tanzania. The corruption, the human rights violation, the degradation of humanity is not different. The way they treat opposition members in Kenya is no different from how they are treated in Tanzania, and is no different from how they are treated in Uganda. Imagine the position Agatha was put in, and she was tortured as somebody was shoving something into her anus. Imagine somebody getting into your anus, getting out shit and, painting it on you. What more are we waiting for to raise up and say enough is enough? Trust me, even though Kenya solves the problem and Uganda has not solved the problem, Abaganda bagamba malaga mu bulago. It's gonna spread again as wildfire and come back to Kenya. These are loads of abductions. It is happening everywhere. We have people that are complacent. All leaders in East Africa, the presidents in East Africa are complacent, completely disconnected from reality. Whatever they are doing currently is make sure keep themselves in power, but also make sure they continue looting our countries. They make sure they remain in power so that they continue violating our rights. We need to come to the occasion and build the Africa we want. We need to come to the occasion and build an East African community that is not a dummy East African community that we have. Why would a Ugandan be arrested in Tanzania? For no reason, simply because their sober mind tells them, I must go and stand in solidarity with the oppressed people in Tanzania. Why? Why should this be happening? We need to rise to the occasion and do something as Africans. It's gonna take us. Kenyans, you didn't go through the wars of 2020, 2005, 2007 just to come this long and have a leader like Ruto who is playing around with your country. To Ugandans, our parents didn't support Museveni for them to have a country like ours. The Rwandan genocide didn't happen just because he wanted to have a president like Kagame that suppresses the opposition. We need to rise up as Africa and do something. I believe in all of us, but we must do something. Our brothers in Kenya showed us during the financial bill protest that we can do it. A people united can never be defeated. We should not wait for our leaders to rise to the occasion. No, they're not going to rise to it. Of what importance is the East African community when it can't rain on these countries when all this is happening? Kenya, we once took you as a safe haven for us. Our parents have told us different stories of how every time they would run to Kenya when things were not going right in Uganda. But currently, I feel not safe in Kenya. We had FDC supporters who were arrested and deported to Uganda from Kenya. We had, is it Maria from Tanzania? She was also arrested in Kenya. We had Dr. Kanukiza Besigye abducted and later deported to Uganda. This is happening in the full glare of people of sober minds like you. Our grandfather, Nelson Mandela, taught us that it seems impossible until it's done. Us to form a community of people that care about each other seems impossible until it's done. And I know we can do it. We can rise to the occasion and create an Africa that works for all of us. As Uganda heads into elections in 2026, we are yet to see worse things happen. We are yet to see more abductions. We are yet to see more murders like Museveni and his Dracula drunk son Muhoozi have done before. However, I want to give Ugandans the courage. We have the potential it takes to overpower the state. We have it. We have seen states, we have seen empires fall. We have seen dictators run as they crawl when the people unite. Let's not let insanity reign over us when we can certainly do something. Raise up onto the occasion, head into the protest vote. Vote, protect your vote, count your vote, demand your vote. The way you demand your vote depends on you. As for me, I believe the only person that can deliver the Uganda we want at the time is Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine came as a software update that refused to be downloaded on the regime's system. I am Dr. Morgans. Thank you for watching. I'll ask you to subscribe and share this video to somebody